Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. So today is gonna be another Gator video. My two buddies are here, Igor and Slava, Vyacheslav. Vyacheslav is an engineer, blah 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 blah, but he's an awesome guy to work with. So today we're actually making a lot of progress on all sorts of stuff. I solved the riddle of the front sprockets there, and basically, short story long, some of the teeth were bent a little bit outwards, so I have to replace them. Some of you guys suggested me to bend them back into place basically, but I don't want to do that because when you bend metal it gets weak. If you bend it once again it gets even weaker, and I could heat it and all sorts of weird funky stuff. But since this is the drivetrain, these are the driving sprockets, right, which has a lot of force on them, I rather replace them with new ones. The other ones on the right side, I think I will just see if the machinist in the big settlement out here, if he can weld them and grind them back into like 90-95% shape. Alright guys, so let's see what we have been doing, what we have found out. Let's say hello to the guys there. How slow? Oh, that's hello. On the right side here we have some play, as you can see. But that is most likely due to these bolts here not being tightened very fast, or what we can call it. So this we're gonna have to look into right now. I loosened them a little bit, so now they're even looser, of course. We have removed the tanks here, so we can now get rid of the old fuel and stuff. And also, in order to straighten this platform here out, that would be pretty awesome. Clean it out, straighten it out. We have removed this tank as well. You can see we have a lot of sand, wet sand, and rust here and so on. This we're gonna fix up. This is the tank we're using, so we're not removing that one just yet. Lots of good information here. This is the connector, so to speak, for the tank. This is in good condition. This is the rear tank. We found out that is actually broken off right down here. The other rear tank here have had a funky repair, but seems to be working. I just want to change out this rubber hose here. Maybe just buy some new lines, who knows. Because here it is completely squeezed. It's most likely been heating up on this thingy. Then the guys, they brought two ventilators with the appropriate mounts. So we're gonna mount ventilators. That is gonna be pretty awesome. Why do we have two? Because it takes two to tango. This is where the ventilators are supposed to sit. The guys there, they're working on the wiring for the ventilators. I will be working on the front drive sprockets here. We have the track tension device here, and we found out what the problem was down here. Here we have the track tensioner, and it's not working on grease like on the old bulldozers. It works simply mechanically. It's like a long bolt. But you can see it's turning, and now we are at the bottom. So it's the rear wheel here is all the way to the bottom. If we turn it the other way, we can actually easily adjust the track tension. No problem. Basically, down here should be mounted a little kind of a bracket thingy, and when we put the tensioning bolt in this position here, it will lock this outer ring here, and it will also lock this bolt tensioner or track tensioner in place. The locking mechanism, which is very simple, is just a plate with two bolts basically. The plate is cut in a funky way, but on both sides they're missing, so vibration and pressure from the tracks have driven the the track tension mechanism all the way to the bottom. That's why they are ultimately loose. That is the reason that this rubber here is chewed up on the sides, but I have seen much worse, and as I said, it's only on the sides, and this is actually a sign of loose track tensioning. So yeah, I'll run these rubber thingies here as long as possible, and hopefully they can be replaced in some weird way. I read somewhere that they can. As you can see, we have 3 bolts down there, and this is a mechanism or system that I am not familiar with, so let's unscrew the bolts there and see what happens. Basically we have a big disc, 3 holes. We have a heavy duty axle in there with 3, yeah, also 3 holes. And we have some weird big disc here, which has been taken on and off. This disc locks the bolt into place. I think I have to buy a new disc at least, if possible. Then this guy here should come off. Doesn't looks like there are any bearings or anything. I'll just check. No, it doesn't look like it. No bearings. Awesome. We do have some bearings in there, but no oil dripping or anything or leaking from the hub. Now it would also be a little bit easier to get this little oil level plug out and drill a new hole, cut a new thread, and install a new bolt. So the hub is closed up with a pretty yellow plastic bag with strawberries on it. Awesome. Alright guys, so we're closing down for today, and today's Saturday, but we have actually done a lot of stuff, and I learned a lot of stuff about this vehicle here. As I say, I am not an expert on this yet, but I'm training hard to become one. But what did we find out? We found out that the transport guys most likely broke this fuel line here, which is not a big disaster, it's just a little bit irritating. This has to be straightened out a little bit. We have to, of course, to clean it up and paint it and all sorts of stuff, but that will be much later. It's way too humid for such stuff now. On the other side here, we also found out that this fuel line has been broken. Or maybe I showed you this, but yeah, we have a lot of sand and a lot of rust, which will have to be taken care of at some point. But as I said, rust work and rust prevention and all this stuff must become later when it's more dry. Here we have the ventilators. They're actually working. I just put this in for showing as an example. We of course have to modify these brackets here a little bit so it will not sit like this. And the other one goes over there, of course. Alright guys, so today's Sunday on the Gator project, and Sunday has not been awesome for the Gator. It's also been raining and it's very windy, and it's just not awesome to make electrical installations and all sorts of stuff on a rainy, wet Sunday. However, one of the cool things we have done is that we had made an assessment. I'm not sure Lee Ermy would like this word either, assessment. But anyway, that's what we did. And we have found out what we need of spare parts. We have ordered the spare parts. They're not paid for yet, but they're ordered. And yeah, among them are 2 front sprockets for the left side, and the other stuff we'll see when we get here. When I close down the Gator, as you can see, because it will most likely take a little bit of a while before we're gonna work on it again. I don't know, whenever the parts are gonna get here. We'll see when that's gonna happen. Weeks, 10 days or something, who knows? So we have actually come up quite a bit step further on the Gator. And the Gator of course have to be operational when the spring hunting, 1st of May starts. There's 10 days of spring hunting for game birds and rabbit and stuff like that, or snowshoe hare, tra-la-la-la. So guys, I hope you liked the video, and hope you will check the links in the description. Please consider supporting the channel and all that good stuff. And yeah, share, subscribe, bell, like, and get out and train, get it done, do something awesome. See you in the next video guys. Thank you for your time.